I wanted to show you guys something that I think at this stage kind of needs to be addressed. So to the left, we've got the Sony A80J. To the right, we have the Sony A8G. And I'm just going to compare these right now out of the box. No effort put into it. Just showing you. Now, don't worry, for my more seasoned viewers, I will absolutely be doing a proper calibration on the A80J. But I'm doing this so much to prove a point. And I'm using my Sony so that nobody tries to say I'm an LG fanboy. You see, anybody can make the claim that they don't have the experience or the know-how to calibrate the TVs, and they're all about pulling TVs out of the box and just seeing what they get there. But honestly speaking, when you do that trash, you're not showing the full potential or capability of what your television is remotely close of being capable of doing. And if I were to do that right now against the Sony A8G versus the A80J, the A80J would obviously lose and lose dramatically. See, there are some like KG, again, just a startup channel, not trying to throw them under the bus, but you know, I hate when people have a mouth on them, right? And they're arrogant, cocky, talking about someone's pretending to be a professional calibrator. I am very, very aware that that is the narrative spun towards Quantum TV. I immediately get triggered when I see it, especially from a guy that whips his TV out and literally doesn't even do shit to it and has all the shade in the world for me. So you tell me if those skin tones look ruined or if that's just overly orange versus what he would be showing you out of the box. The point in this video is that when you know what you're doing and you really know what you're doing, you show it in your work. And if you don't know what you're doing, then that's fine, but don't act like one TV is better than the other, because I saw what they had to say about the LG C1. Not only did I find it unfair, I found it very one-sided towards Sony. I say this as somebody who has been rocking a Sony A8G as his bread and butter daily driver. I'm no LG shill. I really don't even like LG, if I'm being completely honest. My top video right now, one of my top videos, is talking about why you never buy LG OLED. But like I said, when LG deserves the credit, I give it where it's due. To say the C1 is anything less than exceptional is a lie. That's just not a fair statement to make when you actually try to, I don't know, use the picture processing tools, the settings at your disposal, and get an image worth a damn. You see, the image to the left on the A80J is out of the box. It's not spectacular. So if you go on Keep It Classy or you go on KG or any of these other startup channels, even some seasoned channels like Digital Trends, and they talk about the out-of-the-box experience being fantastic, or they just straight up just do what Digital Trends does and compare out of the box, that's trash. Y'all need to stop doing that, because at the end of the day, there is a massive difference when you actually try to use the tools at your disposal. You get two different experiences, you wind up with two very different TVs. And my message for today is very simple. Learn the TVs, otherwise you're just nerfing the picture quality, unnecessarily so. Losing luminosity, losing depth, losing dynamic range, losing every aspect of a picture that makes it worth your time. I can't believe that I have to make a video telling people not to, I don't know, jump off the deep end and start saying that certain TVs are better than others just simply because they whipped it out of the box and actually used settings. But here we are. 2021 has proven to be a very weird and very strange time. But again, here we are. Now, I will say this. There is obviously a point where you can find some irregularities or discrepancies or things that aren't ideal. And obviously, those things happen after calibration. Those things happen after, not even calibration, dude. You don't even have to be an expert. They happen after you try to create settings that, I don't know, make a picture look good. Just the basic stuff, right? And these are things that you just do not run into when you are just slapping a TV out of the box and doing whatever nonsense these guys are doing. I mean, look at this picture. Look at how dramatic this comparison result would be. Just look at how dramatic it would be. This would be a total unfair slaughter on the A80J. This is the kind of comparison that these people, let's not call them names, are doing. I think it's clown shit. I think it needs to stop. I think, you know, I don't know what's in the water or in the air with these chemtrails in their local city or the fluoride in their water. I don't know what they're drinking or what they're eating, but I'll tell you right now, there's something wrong with people lately where everybody wants to be an expert. Everybody wants experience they don't have. Everybody has so much confidence, even when there's no reason to be confident. Everyone wants to say that what they're doing is correct and right, and that it represents some demographic of user that it doesn't. Let me tell you, as a former professional calibrator, this is not what people want in their image quality. They don't want dead, lifeless imagery. They want the dynamic range. They want the colors. They want the proper exposure. And most people are pretty capable of doing that out of the box, and they get really close. So to just do an out of the box comparison because that's your experience level, learn how to use these settings. Learn how to tune up a TV. Because if I was to run this comparison right now, the A80J would be getting absolutely bodied by the Sony A8G. So I would be very careful when we're saying things like the C1 is worse, it loses all this detail, it does all this nonsense that, honestly speaking, it doesn't do because you haven't used the settings to verify that claim. This is how different an out-of-the-box comparison is versus something that's been dialed in. Now, again, I'm a professional TV calibrator, or at least a former one, and I'm a professional photographer. I have an extensive understanding of imagery and how to create it. I will be using that expertise to give you guys the nitty-gritty on which one of these TVs to buy. And don't worry, I'm not going to be favoriting Sony just because my daily driver is a Sony, and I'm not going to be favoring any other brand. The reality is I'm the #1 brand in honesty because I don't do that trash, and I give you that impartial commentary that you need and tell you when something is really good or really bad, point blank. And what I'm seeing come out of the new startup AV YouTubers is this hunger for clout, this hunger for just trying to put something out there that's overly opinionated, coming from a position of zero understanding of TV technology, and it's disgusting, and I want it to stop. So my message for this video is a very simple one. Do not do out-of-the-box comparisons, and if you're watching anyone on YouTube do an out-of-the-box comparison because of their level of experience or they're just plain out lazy, then just take it with a grain of salt if you really like them. But otherwise, I would wait for somebody that actually knows how to set up a picture correctly. Now, that being said, I want to thank you guys so much for watching the #1 brand in honesty. If this came off condescending, I kind of don't care because it needs to be that way, because if you don't know what you're doing, that's fine, admit it, like some of these people have admitted, but then don't act like what you're saying is a definitive truth or even something remotely true, because as you're seeing here, out-of-the-box comparisons literally are dog water and they don't hold their weight. Now, there have been some that have asked me how I felt about these people, how I felt about these channels. And that is really honestly the only reason I am responding in such a fashion, because when my community asks me for something, I do deliver, and I wanted to do just that. I want to thank you guys so much for watching the #1 brand in honesty, and until the next video, out of the box TV comparisons are dog water.